Before we get into the video, we have to mention a few things first. First of all, a big thank you to DeMathBoy, who did a lot of the math for this video. This video assumes perfect RNG, meaning every possible random variable works out perfectly. This must be done during a Finnegan where he reduces the pest spawn times, during a contest for Zora's Cape to work, and it must be done with max gear to allow for the maximum possible crop drops. Each setup already assumes that you are farming 60 and milestone 46 in all crops due to dedication 4, as well as having cultivating 10 on every tool. This max setup includes having a full set of Mossy Pesterminator 6 Biohazard, a set of Mossy Fermento armor combined with Mossy Rancher's boots, all with perfect paradots in each slot. A hedgehog will be used to kill all of the pests, while a mushroom cowl will be used at any other time paired with the forceful power, enrichments, and tunings on strength to provide the maximum farming fortune. At all times, the optimal farming tool will be used until it is necessary to switch to an Infinivacuum Huvarius to kill the pests. All pests will spawn in front of the player and will be killed instantly. This is only possible due to the perfect RNG. Pest farming can best be explained within cycles. Each cycle lasts from spawning the last set of pests to the spawn of another set of pests. With Finnegan, the Pest Hunter equipment, and a Pest Vest, this is 75 seconds. This means you have 75 seconds to farm regularly before needing to switch gear to spawn the pest. In this video, all pest spawns will occur the tick after 75 seconds, as pest spawns are luck-based. Every cycle will have 75 seconds of regular farming, as well as 5 pests, which will all drop their highest crop amounts and their specific RNG drop.
Despite pest farming flies being not nearly as broken as it was before the Pest Hunters Ware update, flies are still the way to go. Each fly drops 3 enchanted hay bales, or 78,000 wheat, as well as 66 enchanted wheat per fly, which is another additional 10.6 thousand regular wheat. With 5 pests spawning every 75 seconds, this allows a total of 436.8 thousand wheat to be collected from pests each cycle. While farming off cooldown, an additional 480 wheat per second can be collected, meaning every cycle grants 472.8 thousand wheat. The max wheat milestone requires a bit over 64 million wheat to max, meaning it'll take slightly over 135 cycles, which must round to 136, taking roughly 2 hours and 48 minutes to max out the entire wheat milestone.
Pest farming crickets is the most efficient method for grinding carrots. Each cricket drops 12 enchanted golden carrots, which is equivalent to 245.8k carrots, along with 220 enchanted carrots, or 35.2k regular carrots. With 5 pests spawning every 75 seconds, this allows a total of 1.4 million carrots to be collected per cycle. While farming off cooldown, an additional 1.9k carrots per second can be earned, bringing the total per cycle to 1.5 million. The max carrot milestone requires 208.7 million carrots, meaning it would take approximately 135 cycles, which rounds up to 136. This process takes about 2 hours and 47 minutes.
Pest farming locust is the most efficient method for grinding potatoes. Each locust drops 10 enchanted baked potatoes, aka a full amount of hot potato books you would need for an armor set, which is equivalent to 256,000 potatoes, along with 223 enchanted potatoes, or 35.7 thousand regular potatoes. With 5 pests spawning every 75 seconds, this allows a total of 1.5 million potatoes to be collected per cycle. While farming off cooldown, an additional 1,920 potatoes per second can be earned, bringing the total up to 1.6 million potatoes per cycle. The max potato milestone requires 208.7 million potatoes, meaning it'll take a bit over 130 cycles, aka 131 to round for safety. This process takes about 2 hours and 43 minutes.
Ordinarily, pest farming rats would be a very fast method to max pumpkin. However, the Pumpkin Dicer 3.0 decimates it when considering perfect RNG. At 20 blocks per second with each block broken, giving a Praetor RNG's drop, you can earn 40 polished pumpkins per second. That is 1 million pumpkins in 1 second. While adding the regular farming drops per second, we gain 420 extra pumpkins per second. It might be a small amount, but every pumpkin does count. Max Pumpkin Milestone requires a bit over 64 million pumpkins. When dividing our ridiculous pumpkins per second by the total milestone number, it would take 62.614 seconds to max pumpkins.
Pest farming mosquitoes is the most efficient method for grinding sugarcane. Each mosquito drops 6 enchanted sugarcane, equivalent to 153.6 thousand sugarcane, along with 134 enchanted sugar, or 21.44 thousand regular cane. With 5 pests spawning every 75 seconds, this allows a total of 875.2 thousand sugarcane to be collected per cycle. While farming off cooldown, an additional 960 sugarcane per second can be earned, bringing the total per cycle to 947.2 thousand cane. The max sugarcane milestone requires 128.3 million sugarcane, meaning it will take approximately 136 cycles. This process should take around 2 hours and 48 minutes to complete.
Once again, the dicer completely blows pests out of the water for melons. Whilst earthworms would provide an extremely fast method of collecting melons, at 20 blocks a second, assuming perfect RNG, the Melon Dicer 3.0 provides 160 enchanted melon blocks a second, or 4.1 million melons. Melon requires 320.7 million melons to reach max milestone, which means that it only takes 78.3 seconds to finish melons with perfect RNG. We must add the regular farming drops each second, which does increase the melons per second by 2000, however this only decreases the time to 7.
Pest farming mite is the most efficient method for grinding cactus. Each mite drops 6 enchanted cactus, equivalent to 153.6 thousand cactus, along with 117 enchanted cactus green, or 18.7 thousand regular cactus. With 5 pests spawning every 75 seconds, this allows a total of 861.6 thousand cactus to be collected per cycle. While farming off cooldown, an additional 960 cactus per second can be earned, bringing the total per cycle to 933.6 thousand cactus. The max cactus milestone requires 128.3 million cactus, meaning it will take approximately 138 cycles to max. This process takes about 2 hours and 53 minutes.
Pest farming moths is the most efficient method for grinding cocoa beans. Each moth drops 11 enchanted cookies, equivalent to 225.3k cocoa beans, along with 171 enchanted cocoa beans, or 27.4k regular cocoa beans. With 5 pests spawning every 75 seconds, this allows a total of 1.3 million cocoa beans to be collected per cycle. While farming off cooldown, an additional 1.4k cocoa beans per second can be earned, bringing the total per cycle to 1.4 million cocoa beans. The max cocoa bean milestone requires 192.7 million cocoa beans, meaning it would take approximately 140 cycles, which rounds up to 141. This process takes about 2 hours and 56 minutes.
Pest farming slugs is the most efficient method for grinding mushrooms and also money, as legendary slug pets sell for 5 mil George. Each slug drops 30 enchanted mushroom blocks equivalent to 152.6 thousand mushrooms, along with 61 enchanted mushrooms or nearly 10,000 regular mushrooms. With 5 pests spawning every 75 seconds, this allows a total of 816.8 thousand mushrooms to be collected per cycle. While farming off cooldown, an additional 916 mushrooms per second can be earned, bringing the total per cycle to 852.8 thousand mushrooms. The max mushroom milestone requires 64.14 million mushrooms, meaning it will take approximately 76 cycles to max. This process takes about 1 hour and 35 minutes. Additionally, during the process, 380 legendary slug pets are dropped, equating to around 1.9 billion extra coins earned during this grind.
Pest farming beetles is the most efficient method for grinding netherwort. Each beetle drops 9 mutant netherwort, which is equivalent to 230.4k netherwort, along with 187 enchanted netherwort, or 29.9k regular netherwort. With 5 pests spawning every 75 seconds, this allows a total of 1.3 million netherwort to be collected each cycle. While farming off cooldown, an additional 1.4k netherwort per second can be earned, bringing the total per cycle to 1.4 million netherwort. The max netherwort milestone requires 192.7 million netherwort, meaning it would take approximately 136 cycles, which rounds up to 137. This process takes about 2 hours and 51 minutes.
You're probably wondering, how fast would a Spaceman take? I won't bore you with the maths again since we just showed it all, but the times are dependent on each crop. Listing out 10 crops is very boring, so I'll just say the fastest and slowest, and if you pause the screen you can see all the times for each crop. The fastest was pumpkin, with a total time of 97.6 seconds, and the second fastest was Melon's with a time of 122 seconds. The slowest was Wheat with a time of 7.34 hours, and second slowest was Cactus with a time of 5.58 hours. I hope you had a good look, as it's time for us to move on.
It takes a total of 21 hours and 25 minutes to max the garden, and you earn a total of 5.9 bill from crops and an additional 1.9 bill from slug pets. From crops alone, this is 277 mil per hour, and including slugs, it's 365 mil per hour.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We really hope you enjoyed the video, and we hope you have a great rest of your day, night, or whatever else you're doing for the rest of the time you're awake. Please like, subscribe, because we are poor broke YouTubers, and we like making the big number get bigger.